Hello, my name is Gina and I cannot properly explain to you how terrifying this situation is. Okay, so what we are doing today is we are going to be swatching all of my gold eyeshadows because I can. I just finished a really big project and I'm just kind of chilling here on a Friday night. And what does one do on a Friday night but swatch eyeshadows? I have here 4 Adept 88 palettes that contains all of my eyeshadows. And I have an empty Give Me Glow palette as well. And we're just gonna have some fun. I'm just probably gonna blab a little bit about stuff and we're gonna look at some pretty eyeshadow. In the zinger I mentioned that I was really scared and this filming situation is a little precarious. I'll insert a picture, I guess, over here-ish, but hopefully you can see everything and hopefully this won't be a waste of my time. So let's get started. Oh, I'm so excited. Like, I'm pulling these out and I'm just like, oh, I have so many gorgeous like shades of gold, and I think there was a part of me that was like, oh, well, you're gonna pull out, you know, a dozen shades of the same color and you're gonna be really embarrassed, but not yet. So I think maybe like it would behoove us to talk about like what constitutes gold, because I think I probably surprised a few people by pulling out mattes. And gold is like a metallic element, obviously. Like when we think of gold, we think of like the metal, but gold is also a color, and it is a very like earthy, I would call it like an earth tone almost always. So it's very desaturated, and it is generally on the yellow spectrum. And as we talked about with the arranging of my temporary palettes, yellow has a very wide spectrum where you go from like an orangey, brassy color to, you know, through this very true yellow color to more of a green gold. And I think probably the kinds of things that make a difference in that, like makes it gold versus orange versus green, is how muted it is. Okay. So now that we've got our dragon's hoard of gold, I'm going to do my best to sort these in some kind of chromatic order, because when I do swatches, I like to have them sorted as everything in spectrum order. So I'm going to do my best to not stress too much over the ordering of everything, because I'm just trying to have fun. No promises. Unsurprisingly, I'm much more permissive about my greens being considered gold than I am my oranges. I do think some of them need to come out, but I don't think it's nearly as many as I'm kind of wanting to come out. Okay, shadows are done. Like I said, I'm not gonna fuss too much about order and making sure it's all perfect, but this is a very lovely array of gold. And then I'm gonna zoom you in so that we can do swatches. All right, so we have all of our golds here. I'm gonna do a quick test of the stuff in palettes just to kind of see where I think they might go. ones from the Juvia's blush palette are gonna go in the warm golds. I believe that Money from the Zodiac palettes is gonna go probably in the green golds, which seems about right. This is so pretty. It's a really pretty shade. And then my Morphe palette will have like a good mix, so I really want to do like full, like get it right in spectrum order. Not the first time, but there's only gonna be one time, so I would like to do it. Okay. So let's start with the warm golds because honestly the green golds are my favorite, so I want to do those last. This is Cliona Cosmetics Soul. A very, very pretty gold with a green shift. It's not great. It looks a lot more sheer on camera, I think, than it does in person, but next is Morphe's Guilt Trip. This is from the Jaclyn Hill Vault collection. Next is a matte. This is Dirt Road from Sydney Grace. Then it is Paper Tiger from ColourPop. Then last of the shadows on this is a blank shadow, which I do believe is a Juvia's Place, and by the look of it, my guess would be from the Saharan 2. Or wait, sorry, from the Saharan. Next we're hopping over to the Juvia's Place's The Saharan Blush Volume 1. And first we're picking up Zara, which is in the top left corner. Then Lila, or Lila, in the top right corner. There are our warm slash brassy, not brassy, coppery golds. Moving right along, getting a little bit cooler. This is Aziza from the Saharan 2. This is one of my favorite all-time favorite shades. It is a pale, warm gold, and it's got great reflect. Next is another Cliona shadow. This is Klondike Gold Rush. Klondike Gold Rush and Soul are incredibly similar in that they are both pretty warm golds, but Soul has a bright green reflect. The next shadow is from the Ace Beauté Classical Paradise palette. This is almost too vibrant to be a gold, but I decided to include it in here. It is Maze. You can hear my cat yelling. He's fine, he just wants food. Next up is another matte. This is Sydney Grace's Gisele. Again, almost too vibrant to be considered a gold, but I think it works. We're gonna take a very deep dive into desaturated and dark, and this is Night Show from ColourPop. In case you're wondering, I'm going into the pan kind of hard, not necessarily because I can't get product, but most of these shadows, even my Sydney Grace ones, they're not magnetizing very well to this palette. I don't think the magnet is particularly strong. And the reason why I said especially my Sydney Grace ones is because the Sydney Grace pans in my other palettes, in the Adept palettes, they like are so well magnetized, it's difficult to get them up. Next, we have Backwoods from Sydney Grace as well. Finally, in that row, we have a color from the Visart Dark Mattes palette. I very often complain that this color is very difficult to categorize, but I think it would be helpful for me in the future to think of it as gold. Okie doke, here are our warm golds. I'm going to clean off my arm and then we'll do the neutral golds. All right, I'm back. I just wiped my arm off with a towel. I am not feeling particularly precise at the moment. I'm just having some fun. So I'm not super worried about like the overall veracity of the swatches. And I added a color to the green golds. Let's find out what it is. All right, so in our neutral golds, the first one that we have is the pale gold from the Pat McGrath Subliminal palette, Subliminal Volume 2. And it is, as described, a very nice pale gold. Next up is a Sydney Grace shadow. This is Seize the Day. It is from their, I forget what the bundle is called. It's from the Woodsy bundle. Trail, Wood, Trail, something. It's gold. Next, I believe this is a Juvia's Place shadow. This is Nubia from the Magic palette. I would like to just say, for the record, I am incredibly impressed with myself that as of this moment, I don't have any dupes. And if there are dupes in the palettes, they don't count because I haven't done my dupe search for them yet. These are very close, but it's actually pretty easy to see on camera. This one is darker. This is another Sydney Grace shadow, also from the Woodsy bundle. This is Be the Sunshine. Definitely a lot more green than perhaps belongs in this row, but we'll just work with it. The same can very much be said of the next one, which is Coin from the Morphe Jaclyn Hill Vault collection thing. Gold is so pretty. I'm a little dragon. Rachel was right. Next is Classified from the Armed and Gorgeous palette by Morphe and Jaclyn Hill. And last in this row is Golden Apple from the Ace Beauté Classical Paradise palette. Also probably a bit greener than really belonged in this row. There is row 1 of my neutral golds. Then row 2. This is Lick It, Slam It, Suck It by Luxie, which definitely gets more in the yellow than gold. And I will say, even though this is very clearly like a very pretty color, the Luxie shadows hard pan very badly, and it makes me sad. Next, but this shadow is going to rock your socks off. This is Limelight from JD Glow. Just wait for it, wait for it. Oh yeah, it's so amazing. Look at it, fucking look at it. Oh my god, let's just have my, it's so pretty. Moment of silence. Next is a very well-loved shadow. This is Wodabe from Juvia's Place Saharan palette. Also very pretty. But 365 is a hard act to follow. Next up is Carrot Cake from ColourPop. I don't love the ColourPop shimmer formula. It's just kinda, just don't like it. It's not that I don't like it. It just pales in comparison to other ones that I've got. That was Carrot Cake, okay. Then last in this row is another one of Sydney Grace's from the Woodson bundle, and this is Light My World. And these are my neutral golds, which very clearly I had a much harder time sorting. Wait, I missed one. 1 second. This one is from the Morphe 35M palette. It probably, honestly, I'm just gonna swatch it right over like it's Slime Socket. Because, let's face it, it's not doing much for me. That is column 2, row 1. This is column 3, row 2. Okay, now we're, yeah. So shiny. I'm gonna wipe off my arm and then we'll do the green golds. Alright, I have returned and we have lots of green gold. We have a great deal of green gold. So I cannot promise you it will all be in any kind of order. I'm actually probably gonna take the pigments first because I do think that they're a bit on the warmer side, and I think that also like going ahead and getting them not out of the way, just I think swatching them separately will be a bit more fair because I'm gonna be using a brush with a medium. So first I'm going to take whatever this one is. I think this is my Franken mix. It's so pretty. I'm gonna throw my towel on the ground, wiping off my brush as much as I can. Just give it a spritz with the mixing medium. Then I'm gonna go into this next one over here. Looks very similar. It's not as like glittery. And then spritzing it again. Finally, I'm gonna go into this slightly more muted one. And this is a matte, so it's gonna be a little, it's gonna work a little differently. I probably could have just picked this up with my finger. My apologies. It's not a matte, as you can see. It's more like an iridescence. It's a very subtle sheen. So now we're going into the pressed shadows. This is Mermaid from Sydney Grace. Next, I'm going to take this guy here. This is 365 from JD Glow. Should also prepare yourself like you did last time because it's amazing. It doesn't have quite the same reflect that Limelight does, but it is nonetheless absolutely stunning. Actually, it does have the reflect. It's just it reflects more with flat light, which I can't get for you now. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Now I'm gonna switch and do the ones from the Morphe palette because at this point I'm very afraid that I'm going to forget it. I'm gonna take column 1, row 1. Sorry, column 1, row 2. Which is a dark brass. It is very lovely. And then I probably should have done this in the warms, but I'm gonna take column 7, row 1. Going back to my regular palette. Sorry, I'm getting a bunch of notifications because I sent people swatches of my last one and now I'm getting replies. So now I'm gonna work from these more saturated greens and then go to the desaturated ones. So next, I believe this is Escape from Sydney Grace. This is part of the Backwoods bundle. I think it's called Backwoods. Did I just remember that? And this is very, very on the edge of gold. This is very green. It might be too saturated. The next shade is something I repressed from a BoxyCharm palette that I got forever ago. And I got rid of everything but this one because it's just so pretty. Next up is Baby Lights from ColourPop. That one was Fitbit telling me to go to bed. Fuck you, Fitbit. Do what I want. So that one is definitely a lot more gold in its reflect. Next up is a shade from the Alamara Reina del Caribe palette, Volume 1. I believe it's called El Malecon. Very much a green gold. Until I got JD Glow Shadows, this was the most reflective eyeshadow I owned. It is absolutely stunning. And then finally, this is Elixir from Cleona. This is the one where I can't really decide if it is silver or white gold, so I'm just gonna put it in here. And then of course I forgot Money from the Zodiac palettes. Sorry, it's very difficult to get like enough. Alright, there are our green golds, some of them, you know, greenish. Alright, well, that is it. I'm going to wash my arm off and then I will wrap up in just a second. Alrighty, those were the swatches of all of my gold eyeshadows. Very, very proud of myself to have no dupes. Like I said, the closest are these two. This is Juvia's Place and Sydney Grace. But as you can tell, one is, it's not that it's darker, it's just significantly less reflective. Alright. Thank you for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please do give it a thumbs sideways, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. And leave me a comment down below and let me know what is your favorite gold eyeshadow. I need to know. I need to know what it is so that I can have it. I'm a dragon and I need everything that is gold. Okay, glad we got that cleared up. If you like me and my flowing red hair, please do also subscribe to the channel. I am uploading somewhat infrequently at the moment, but you will at least get one video a week for the foreseeable future. You can find me on the internet at Faces by Gina. I have an Instagram and a Facebook where I upload looks every single day. I hope that you're having a great day no matter where you are, and please do remember to think deeply, critically engage the world around you as you are being good to yourself and good to other people as well. I will see you out there on the internet. Bye.